Here is the entrance and there is a stadium, Stamford Bridge, Chelsea. Stadium tour and museum is that way. So now we are ready for the stadium tour. So everyone is gathering over here. So it's a 1 p.m. tour. See, all of us will be going, and there will be a tour guide with us. So let's see what we will find. I will share with you. Here we go, entering the stadium. First look, it's beautiful.
Please come this way, thank you.
It's almost near to the field. It's a amazing experience, man.
Please come and join me, everyone. Thank you. Thank you, sir. Have a seat.
Yeah, thanks. It's a wonderful stadium. See, I can see it's named with Lampard, Mikel. That means it's Lampard stand.
An adult, a parent with an under 12 child here as well. Okay? Or if you're over 65, you can also get a seat here. So these tend to be the cheapest seats here at Stamford Bridge. It's called the South Stand, or better known these days as the Shed End. Okay? And we'll be going and ending up where the big Nike swoosh is, where those people are over there. I'll be telling you a little about the history of Stamford Bridge and Chelsea up there. And if you look towards the top, you'll see the windows, and those are the backs of boxes. They're called the Millennium Suites. You can hire one of those if you'd like to for 10 years. It will cost £2.5 million, but you're welcome to hire one. But don't worry if you haven't got the money with you today, because there's a 15-year waiting list to try and get one of them. They're extremely popular. So there we go. The one right in the middle, where you see it says Chelsea FC, our owners have that. We used to be a Russian company, and now, of course, we're an American company. Todd Bowley and his Clear Lake Properties Group bought us for £4.25 billion. A couple of months ago. That's his most expensive sports purchase ever. Okay, so it's good to see him around as well. And in fact, Matthew Harding used to be deputy chairman here, and quite a rich young man, gave £5 million to the owners around about the mid-70s to help redevelop this stand here and over there as well. Unfortunately, fortunately he had a helicopter, but it crashed. That's the unfortunate part. And that was coming back from a Chelsea game, which we lost. He died. The next morning, they renamed this the Matthew Harding Stand. It used to be known as the North Stand. Okay, now, all around, it comes to a total capacity of 41,000. 41,000. Now, we're not the biggest stadium in the Premiership. However, we win the most awards, trophies. You might have seen, some of you might have photographs with the trophies when you bought your tickets. Okay, we're currently the world champion team. Okay, and one of those, in the photograph, it shows the World Cup, the original. If you have missed it, you can go back and see it a bit later. All right, but it's only about that big. It's a nice thing. Okay, and we beat Palmeiras, the Brazilian side, in the final earlier this year in Abu Dhabi.
So now we are going to the press box.
When it grows through, normally if you were here 2 months ago, you would have seen a germination cloth, just a big white cloth here. When the grass starts poking through the germination cloth, you know it's time to take it off. We have to do that because the pigeons eat all the grass seed. So, and then we put in the artificial. The artificial's got long threads and the grass winds around them. Okay? This pitch is 5 times stronger than the grass you have in your backyard or your back garden. That's why it costs £1 million a year to do. Okay, but we do it every single year. At the end of each year, what we do, we cut it all up, roll it up, and we take it to our training ground. They've got 40 football pitches at the training ground. 11 of them are with this type of pitch. And at the end of this year, they'll have 12. Okay, but that's what happens here.
Here is the press conference room. So all the reporters are used to sit over here.
The first one always in is the away side. Now they normally live further away than the Chelsea team, so we interview them early so they can get away early and get back home in a bit of time. Okay, so we would do that. In they would come. If they had a man of the match who would sit here, their coach or their manager would sit here. Over here might be a translator or a leading goal scorer. Okay, and over here would be their captain. So if you're the journalist, you might ask questions in the 20 minutes. Things like, how come you lost to Chelsea again? You know, or whatever the questions might be, I don't know. After 20 minutes, they go back to their changing room, which is the other side of this blue wall, pick up their bags, get on the coach, and then they can go back home. So we haven't lost too much time. But often...
Guide told us that here in Haiti, like if it is a Champions League match, then if any team comes from Spain, they serve the Spanish food here. If any team comes from Germany, they used to serve the German foods here. So that's their tradition, and there is a fridge. Some cold drinks are there because they don't keep here alcohol because the reporters have to write something after the match, so they don't want to be drunk. So that's the case. So now we are going to the dressing room. Let's see. Here is the tunnel. So that way is the dressing room, and player comes from this way and goes to the stadium. It's a beautiful dressing room. All the jerseys are placed. Shower rooms. Boards are there. If coach wants to say something, then he can use that.
They will find 3 shirts, each with their name on. One for the first half, one for the second half, and the third one, just in case one of the other 2 gets blood on it or it gets torn. Okay, now on these shirts, let me just take the Gurla Kanti's shirt here. We have a lot of companies that advertise on here as well, and the shirt must be kept beautiful. So they have to change it if there's a problem. At the end of the game, if they don't use one of the shirts, they will sign the number and they will leave it on this table over here, and it will be given to one of our charities. who will probably have a raffle for it, raise a little bit of money for their charity. Okay? And we never use the same shirts again. Every single game we have 3 new shirts. Okay? Just as well that Nike is our #1 sponsor. Okay? Because we go through 3,000 shirts from here every season. 3,000. And they're nearly £100 per shirt. But I'm talking about this full kit as well. So it's a lot of money. Time otherwise. Right, where Marcus Alonso is, where you're sitting, man, used to be Eden Hazard. For 7 years, Eden Hazard used to be right there. Where you're sitting, sir, right here, used to be Didier Drogba. Drogba was there, and let me just think, over here used to be Oscar from Brazil. We've had more Brazilian players play for Chelsea than any other club in England. 26. Can you believe it? Right here used to be, this used to be David Luiz, okay, over here, and William used to be right here. They moved her over one, and William used to be there. Okay, over on this side you've got massage beds. Most people have a massage before and after a game, just to relax them. But what they like to do after a game is go into the ice bath over there. 5 people can sit together. Ice bath. They only need to be in there for 2 minutes to get rid of all the lactic acid in their legs, which causes cramps.
So now we are going to the tunnel. So it's a great feeling because the same tunnel they are using.
When the bells stop ringing from the referee, he comes out of his changing room here, stands here, introduces himself, but everybody knows who he is. And he does 2 vital checks. One, he'll check the boots to make sure they have the right studs in, okay, the legal studs, and also he will check all the hands to see if they have any jewellery on. In England you can wear a wedding ring, but it must have lots of tape over it. Okay, but all the other rings, the watches, bangle, everything must come off. Go back in the changing room. Okay, Chelsea sits on this side, the away side is over here. Thank you, everybody.
So here is the Chelsea, and that one is the Everton. So now I am sitting on Chelsea's dugout. Yesterday there was a match. Some of the players were sitting here, so it feels amazing. Same seat. Now I'm sitting in.
The technical area. Now, all the Chelsea managers in the past have sat here, except for one, and he called himself the special one. Okay, Jose Mourinho was his name, and he liked to sit with this young lady is here. Okay, well, he used to have an assistant here, and normally there would be a couple of coaches here, a couple of medical staff over here. At the back row, always just substitutes, both sides, and the away manager will sit with his young man who's right here. What you won't know is in the middle of winter, all the seats are heated, but the real stuff you can see starts here. This is the CIS pitch, and it's about that much higher right in the middle to help the drainage and the camber of the pitch. Underneath it is 35 miles of underground heating, so we don't have any problems with ice or snow here. It just disappears. Okay? And below that there's all sorts of different volcanic rocks, all sorts of things to help the grass grow. And they cut it every single day. Even through winter they cut it as well. So there we go.
Now we are going to the gallery. where the shops are there. Fans can enjoy their food. Fans can do the bettings. Toilets are also there for male and female as well.
This part of Stamford Bridge. All the singing and shouting used to start here, but not anymore. It's moved to down there, to Matthew Harding Lower. They start the singing, they start the chanting, and everything of Stamford Bridge. This is the oldest continued stadium in the world. So, if you become this game, here's the price.
We still have an hour. We need to get our photos.
Yeah. It's from the museum store.
This is the souvenir shop.
Do you want to get anything?
All the items are present. Like starting from keychain,
ब्रॉन्ज कलर है,
water bottle, cup,
सिल्वर है, गोल्डन है.
scarves, and replica of trophies are present, but those are not for sale. So footballs are present, and many kind of fan t-shirt, jackets, hoodies, caps, and obviously jerseys. Everything is present. So you can choose your own, and you have to pay over there. Okay. Lovely journey. It's a great experience, and I come to know that how the dressing room looks like, and how the trophy room is, and how the press conference room. So it's amazing experience, what I can say.